Hello everyone, I thought I'd do another little show and tell. This here is one of my reversible mats, and this one here I call it the life wheel. So when people purchase this, they actually get a PDF where all these topics are explored, and the reason I called it the life wheel is the questions that I've put there are very provoking, where you are actually at a standstill and need to look at your life, or you've got a client at that particular stage. But you can also use this here as a general charm casting mat. Now I've got all the major topics, and this here is, I know everyone goes wild when I do this, is my beautiful retro swan dish. These charms in here, this here is my collection of charms. There are 50 charms in this. And what we do when we are doing charm castings, you would get your client and have a mix, sorry for the nings, and you can have a sprinkle. You can either do it like that, or you can have it where you decide to shake, rattle and roll and pull out a couple of charms. You can go 2 or 3 for every position. A lot of people say to me, what's the centre for? The centre is the sun, which tells me what is it the most intriguing or important part to you that makes you happy. So that's why the sun is in the middle. So I'm just going to do a sample reading. We'll say it's for a young man, I know 32, 33-year-old, we'll say it's a young man. And oops, anything that goes outside the circle, back into the pot. And I'm just going to make sure, now you see how I'm covering, again, out of the pot. Lion here is on the circle, so I'm going to put him in there. So when I'm using this, so we'll look at a young 32, 33-year-old, young 30s male, looking for love, but also at the crossroads with his career and so on. So we would look at this and say, okay, what's going on for this young man? So I'm just turning them upright so you can see. Some people read them reversed. Me, I don't. It's like a T symbol in a cup to me. I don't read those reversed. So same applies to charms and my cards. So let's have a look at what's going on with this young 30-something man. In his romance and relationship area there, he's actually got the sword and he's also got the lion. Now, when I'd see that, and if my young man's sitting across from me, I'd say, there you've had recent separations or problems in the past. You've got the sword, and it may be because you are a little bit come on too strong or too quickly. The lion there would indicate someone who's, yes, very protective and king of the jungle and all of that, but with the sword combined would tell me you come across a little bit too strong and you might need to pull back and go a little bit slower and a little bit more gentler. So we've got leisure and social life. We've got the scales and we've got the butterfly. Scales here would indicate to me he needs to actually have a little bit better balance in his life between work, social and family. He's also got the butterfly. So I'd look at this and say, don't get too stuck in the mud here. You do need to still have some fun, but it is about the equal balance, what it is that brings you the joy. We've got money matters here, and we've got the castle. Now, there is only one here on money matters. Castle is about, yes, he will achieve very slowly, but he will achieve great success when it comes to financial matters. Now, my client, Mr. Joe Blogg, sitting opposite me, I would say, okay, you've only got one here. I would ask him to go in and draw another one. He's got the hourglass. So there with the castle would tell me, stop rushing the climb. I would say, go things a little bit slower, the money will come. So the hourglass on money matters and castle, though, can literally mean he's a spendthrift where he doesn't think things through and the money changes over on anything shiny and pretty. We there have a look at his career area. He's got the camel, he's got the grove, and he's got the teapot. This isn't a good sign, but that's a movement sign, which would tell me you've tried the meetings and perhaps that's your last-ditch effort to try and see is there somewhere that you can improve in your career. But this here would tell me you've got more adventures to see. The grave here would indicate this is time to probably start looking about because you are ready to close the chapter on this career, this job. You've got the camel, so it would tell me look at things further afield and things that actually invoke adventure for him, because the camel is, long road, can be a little bumpy, but it's about the adventure and the ride along the way. Teapot there would tell me he needs a more social environment. Even just looking at those, I would say the workplace is almost like dead boring. We have on the family there, we've got the book and we've got the mask. So the mask there would indicate again, what is it that he is not seeing or showing to any other family people? The book here would tell me he's closing himself off way too much. Both of those are a little bit closed when it comes to home and family. We then got the physical environment. Now, lots of people say, what's a physical environment, Karen? It actually means everything that is around this young man, which goes for work, goes for family, goes for where he lives, goes for what he works at. Is he in a good location? Is he in a rough part of the town? And that is around him as a physical environment. He's got cherries, frog and rose. Straight away there again is he's got itchy feet. Frog means he's restless base. Rose tells me he needs to grow up and out of it. He's got the cherries, which tells me he's got an opportunity to actually grow. And with the frog so jumpy would tell me opportunity to grow very fast. You've got health and well-being. We've got the peacock and the bird. Peacock means showing his true colours, and it's often a symbol where people need to actually look at themselves a little more. It is like strut your stuff and hold your head high and proud. We've got the bird here, which means talking. Now, health and well-being with the bird, it is chatter, and it often means messages that are coming through. When I'd look at that, I would say he probably needs to talk and open more and show himself a little bit more in order to feel better. And it's interesting, both are bird symbols, which means getting out and about, feeling some wind through his wings, and I'd say he does need to focus on outdoors a little more. His spirituality or personal growth, he's got the bat, which tells me amazing skill set, amazing foresight, even though a bat is blind. It is one of the smartest mammals. In order to see where you are going, you use all your other senses. You've got the ship here, which means, again, things moving very slow. Ship or boat, sailboat, whatever it is water, which means emotion. So I look at these here is focus on the emotional growth. The rest will unfold quite visually. So that's how you read this side using the life wheel. So now let's go over to the next side. Okay, everyone says, numerology. We're not going into a full numerology course, but what I want to show you first is my trusty tile, my trusty whiteboard marker. We are going to put down this young man's date of birth. So we'll make it 86. Now here in Australia, we go the day first here. Then we go our month here, and then we go our year here. So we add up every single digit. So imagine there's little pluses between all of these. And it doesn't matter whether you've got your month and that around the way like the US people do. So 1 + 3 is 4, 5, 6, 16, 24, 32. Let me do that again, isn't terrible. 3, 4, 5, 6, 16, 24, and 8, 32. So this person here is a life number 5. So we go 3, 2. Just want to double check that again. 4, 6, 16, because we got that there, is 10. 16 plus 6 is 24. Plus 6, yeah, it's 32, which equals a number 5. All you people are probably counting this here and saying, Karen, you got it wrong. Whatever, doesn't really matter. So, and it would be the same if we had someone's birthday. I'm just looking at these, we're just adding up. So say we've got someone else's birthday here. So we go 3 zeros, you can have them anywhere. So 3 plus 0 is 3. 4, 5, 6, 15, 19, 28. So 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So any birthday, we are adding up to the final digit. And it's what they call a life path number, but I'm not going into all of that. So let's have a look at our young man first. And we say, okay, he is a number 5 life path energy. Now this is a numerology grid, and numerology grids start in the bottom and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And numerology always goes in the cycles of 9, and we always round down the numbers to a single digit. So this young fellow is a 5. So what we do, these here have all the pros and the positives and the negatives of every number. So where the dots are, they are more of the negative energy. So we're looking at this young man, we say, okay, he's a number 5, but we're going to scatter all over this. And the reason being, again, we've got ones out. We don't need any more because we've got it all covered. We are then looking at this young man as a number 5. So he is in the centre of the grid, and it's all these other essences that are around him. So when we're looking at that, first I would focus in on his actual number in that area. And this here, the centre of here, it's mainly a 5 alive action, things like that. So he's got mushroom and hourglass. Very interesting that almost coordinates with the other side, which would still tell me needs to get out a little bit more, but he's always running out of time. And there would tell me this young man needs to put things more into action and stop hiding. We then go and look at all the other energies. Like 1 here is about freedom and standing tall. 2 is your empathy. 3 is your artistic and visual. You've got your 4, which is your order, and so on. So we do just go through and really look at all those areas in his life. So I always start on the number. It'd be the same if this person here in the 1, we would start here in the 1. So it's really horses for courses. It doesn't matter if you do or you don't. But this here is looking at all the essences and traits of each number. So when we're looking at this man, we are really giving him, again, a very full reading. But the other side is why I call it the life wheel. It is more about life coaching and support. Here we are looking more at general areas. So here, for instance, in his 9, which is often about the humanitarian, it's the wise one. Here he's got female, which would indicate to me that there is a mature or very wise female here that can certainly help him in this area. He's also got the rose here, which is 2 females here. And that could indicate there is don't be too... the scattered side or irritable. Look more in the positives here and be more compassionate and empathetic and show your romance here. You've got the frog, which may mean he may feel uncomfortable doing so, but he's got the anchor here that tells me this is very good for him to ground him. Here in the 8, it is about business and power. To have the dragon is an amazing energy on that, because it would indicate to me you will rise and rise well. It is often a sign of leadership, but don't let it go to your head. You've got here the 7, which is 7th heaven, and it often means looking at things and standing tall in his power, and it is very spiritual. And when we've got the moon there, would tell me he needs to trust himself a whole lot more. Again, it comes back to like the bat on the other side. His foresight is brilliant, but it's like here he's just not trusting himself enough. Here in his structure with order and coordination, we've got here the bridge, or the tunnel. Some people, bridge and tunnel, doesn't make any difference. It's the gates, actually. You've got the monkey, which means, again, stop horsing around or someone playing tricks on him, and that can literally upset his structure. Here, the ship means take your time in building your structure, and you've also got the tunnel, which would still tell me, come out of hiding. He seems to have a bit of a pattern, this young fellow, but this is how we read it, and you can go on in different directions. So that is my double-sided life wheel. It is a rubber mat, and it has all the numbers and letters and things printed on it. It is a Valmezzi store. It is made of rubber, and these are great because you just roll them up and pop them in your bag. So there we have it. Thanks for listening.